In 1967, Barbara Easley was attending San Francisco State University. The Black Panther Party had been gaining steam on campus. She didn't join them. The two Panthers they sent were misogynistic, and she wasn't with it. Later, her friend Emory Douglas, who was a graphic artist who did some work for the Panthers, would introduce her to Donald Cox, the field marshal for the Panthers. After some time and conversations, she heard enough. She finally joined the Panther Party and later married Donald, becoming Barbara Easley-Cox. While they traveled through Oakland, San Francisco, and Philadelphia, she participated in the free breakfast program, went out and collected clothing for the free clothing program. She was a mainstay with their survival programs. When Donald was accused of conspiracy to commit murder, he fled to Algiers. With Donald gone and many other Panthers in turmoil, the pregnant Barbara felt isolated. That's when she got a call from Kathleen Cleaver, wife of Eldridge Cleaver, who had been a friend to Barbara while working together in Oakland and San Francisco. Kathleen was also pregnant and wanted Barbara to join them abroad. She took a bus to Philadelphia, said goodbye to her mother, and traveled to Paris, then Algiers, then North Korea, where she reunited with Kathleen. They had their babies almost back to back. They raised their babies together. They introduced the Tennis to Jet magazine in Ebony because they were shocked black babies came out without brown skin. While I'm sure North Korea is nice, eventually she wanted to go home, and Kathleen felt the same way. Each week there was one flight from North Korea to Russia, and from there you can get home. But they missed the flight. Then the craziest thing happened. Kim Il-sung, the father of Kim Jong-il and grandfather of current North Korea leader Kim Jong-un, had just received a visit from his wife Kim Song-ai. She was aware of them as Black Panthers because they had promoted and published her husband's book in America. So she took them home on her private jet. In America, it was crazy. East Coast Panthers versus Midwest Panthers versus West Coast Panthers versus International Panthers, but she kept with the mission. Eventually, she would find herself in Germany where she worked with the soldiers there because that's where the black soldiers were. When the war was over, she came back to America and she lived in a one-bedroom apartment with her son and her mother while working as a waitress. But that didn't last long. In no time, she had joined the group Advocate Community Development Corporation, which focused on anti-poverty actions. Eventually, she joined the board in the 80s, and by the 90s, she was chair. People always talk about the Panthers with leadership roles, but as you can see, the rank and file members had some interesting lives as well.